Alright, this should be going. I do currently have you set to view just the thumbnail, because the game is still loading. And there's some things I can talk about while it loads. It might not like it being all tabbed while loading, because it's crashed now twice. But it could, well, no, it's not responding according to Windows, which technically means nothing. Anyway, back in Siege of Centauri for this week. Don't want to forget the queue is provided by Stardock, and it is an early access game, which gets to the first thing that I want to talk about, the latest beta update. Have that here. Got a new mission. Gaul? Gaol. Gaul? I don't know. It's weird. I can sometimes figure out accents, but I can't always read words. Added upgrades to the scavenger modules. They're cheap and increase the range of the building. So that's the one that as enemies are destroyed nearby, it gives you more metal. And added a bunch of new music and sound effects. Hey, it looks like the game is doing... Yay, it's loading. Okay, you can hear it. I'm gonna mute it for now. Some balance changes. The Milton, that's the big robot thing that you can spawn in. We'll do that. Come on, hook in. Yeah, you hooked in. So I still have it mute, although it's actually not playing. Actually, I don't remember if OBS will still show the audio even if it's not recording or not. It actually, no, it won't. So anyway, still have it muted. Reinforcements increase the cooldown slightly. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that is one that could be interesting to see how that works out. But the reinforcements were just like that handful of units that you could spawn in, and I would typically use to just hold enemies, because they'd be attacking them. Hatchlings increase the hit points, so that's the spider thing, is it's crawling around. When you destroy it, it drops a whole bunch of hatchlings. This is to increase their hit points, because basically once the clutch was destroyed, they went down easily, and that's appropriate. That you want them to be more of a threat. So it's more like an armored carrier coming in, and then what it drops is still an issue. The masochists have been slowed down. Added a new objective to sword to generate 500 metal from the scavenger modules. Have I been there yet? Yes, it's right there. Okay. And it's missing a star because that's what it just added. Fission reactors can't be upgraded until the colonies upgrade. I haven't even tried upgrading them. Modified the intro camera for Secosta or Kircosta, depending on if that's hard or soft to see, so that it starts focused on the metal refinery that the dialogue discusses. I think I have been there. Yeah, this one. And then fix some things. Issue with masochist targeting. Metal finally lost its depth when damaged, which could be amusing to see. Fix the temporal shift ability. Overlapping text on mission launch screen. So that's actually no, that might not be here. That might be here. Fixed an issue with some objectives weren't awarding a score correctly. Fixed a UI issue with 4:3 ratio displays. I'm getting a drink of water, but I do want to mention something about that quick. For anyone thinking that, why would you bother with 4:3? Because it's like everybody's on 16:9. Well, no, not necessarily. But also, there can be some weird bugs that happen if at different aspect ratios. Also, at different resolutions. I've witnessed some of these, not in this game, in other games. And it's always interesting to find those, because it makes you wonder, how is the UI designed? For the one game in particular that comes to mind where I found these issues, pretty sure at the time, how the UI was built was not the best way to do it. So there being these issues wasn't surprising, but also meant that there needed to be a look at how it was behaving at those different resolutions. So you should always, not the the final user, the end user. But definitely like quality assurance stuff, beta testing stuff. Yeah, you do actually want to check that stuff. So that is a real thing. Increase the size for the UI. The size of Sparrow slightly. Objective complete. Display no longer overlaps with dialog text. Town names no longer overflow in the selection window. And added category icons to the archive. Let's actually look at that. Because that's right here. Neat. Wait, what? Ah, okay. It's an AI. So that's why it's still showing up here. Access denied. Sure that we'll get that eventually. Alright. Yeah, let's see if we can get this. Produce 500 metal from scavengers. And also, what is there for news? Alright, and hang on, okay, so it's just one there, one there. I do kind of remember this. So they come in that way, they come in that way. So right here is a good place to build. There. That's Q. Yeah, I really shouldn't have built that guy there. They are coming over there. Ah, crap. There. You know what? There. So those are the reinforcements. They will take longer. Really? Still 30 seconds. That doesn't seem that much longer. There. Alright. You guys come up here. Oh, crap. Didn't even notice you come by. There's... Oh, no, there aren't more. You focus on that. That's not good for me. You know, one thing very dangerous about what I'm doing, I'm basically just trying to track them down like this, is that you don't necessarily um, you lose track of what's going on back here then. Ah, I lost that. Kind of forgot it even existed. Alright. There. That guy should be destroyed pretty quick. Oh, maybe not. There. This one should, well, hurt him. Perfect. Right there. I'm not sure what that noise means, to be honest. Alright, and what all was there to talk about from the news? Let me see. I just looked at some of it and I don't remember. I know one of the things was that GitHub has now added a sponsorship system, which is interesting. So the idea is that you'd be able to somehow send funds to. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Like how you tie it in. I mean, I guess GitHub has had a way to pay for quite a while because some of the features on it do require payment. Or at least used to, like the private repositories. Yay, I got that. There are a lot of guys. Ghetto Roboto, which is an interesting game, came out. Oh, no. We got its release date. It's coming out next week. Yeah, you're a cat in a mech suit. In a Metroidvanian type game, it seems. In case you were at all curious, it is being published by Devolver Digital. Seems to just be that's how that works out. You know what I just realized? I've got I know there's something I didn't oh yeah, the Dr. Percy. That was definitely disappointing. That's interesting. So I lost one of them. Huh. So it's not cumulative. Okay. Can work on this one. And I'm quickly gonna look to see what else. Let's do this. Oh yeah, F1 2019 got a full in-game trailer. Some of it seemed to be gameplay. Some of it seemed not necessarily to be. Well, I don't doubt that it was all in-game, but some of it looked more like hero shots of sorts. Or at least with camera placement. But anyway, Just Cause 4 got a spring update in DLC. I still have it installed on the test system. I might launch it at some point to see, because part of the update was supposed to be a change in visuals. I don't know. Grid. So going back to Codemasters again, because Codemasters just so many racing games. They have the Dirt series, the F1 series that I just mentioned, and Grid. And the fourth game in that series is going to be out on September 13th. Oh yeah, THQ Nordic is buying up Piranha Byte, which did Gothic, Risen, and Elance. And it is going to be interesting because at least Risen, I think Gothic as well, maybe, were originally THQ games, so looks like THQ Nordic is continuing to try to collect those. Oh yeah, also that, don't forget about that. This was actually, I saw it, was it the end of the day that was announced, or was it a day later? GOG is working on Galaxy 2.0, a new version of their client that seems to be without the In the Darkness Find Them, but one client to rule them all. Definitely interesting. I'm looking forward to learning more about that, especially because it's supposed to be able to work with the consoles as well. I have a feeling that's not so that you can play the console game on your PC. That wouldn't make too much sense. But just a management thing, so you could see. I'm just trying to think what would be a good example. I'm not really thinking of one, but just, I was trying to think, like, if you had, maybe this could work. Crackdown 3, I think, is on PC. I don't know about Crackdown 1 or 2. Let's say they're not, just for example. But this would let you see, potentially, I don't know, if you could tie your Xbox into it. It could let you see that you do have all the games. It's just they're on different platforms. That would be interesting to see. At least 15 railguns? This is not easy. Okay. Oh, I remember this one. This is the one that introduces the things. No, it isn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is annoying. So, alright. I think that's the rail. Oh, no, particle cams. Oh, crap. very tough. So you have no clue about that path. Right? It would make you very much. You can't even turn right out here because it's like you can't focus here because I'm not going to come in there. Just the fact that those were all just on top of each other. Then that's the idea. To overwhelm you. No, I'm not going to expect them to do that. Because they just go wherever the hell they want. Ow. But yeah, the range is not at all correct. Because my guess is it's because it's projecting, so it's back there, but it actually drops the camera there. Which, let me see, this is that. Oh wait, no, I guess that is. But it's this is not a good perspective when you don't actually have for basically this stuff should be doing that. I guess is what I'm trying to get at, and that's not at all how you do it. So come on. Architectures that can be have been really interesting. Just look it up. I don't remember, but supposedly Navi has they figured a sorry. Supposedly Navi has figured out a way, or AMD has figured out a way around it for Navi, which will be interesting to see. Oh yeah, there was also the NVIDIA super thing, which no one yet knows what that is, though some are expecting that's just basically they want to make sure that they do something to capture attention from AMD with Navi. How long have I been going? I didn't need to be stopping for too long because I got started on this too late. Here we go. Shader engines, that's it. That GCN has, since its inception, been... Damn it, I don't remember what the name of the other one was that we finally moved back to that. But having 4, so then figuring how to get to 8 is interesting. If that is, in fact, what has happened. We won't know until either Computex, which is next week, or E3. The current guess is that Computex is going to be focused on the Ryzen 3000 CPUs, the Zen 2 based CPUs, 7nm CPUs, and that at E3 is when we'll see Navi announced. Though it could also be like a light paper launch at Computex for Navi, with E3 being a more technical focus launch, or actual physical launch. Don't know, we'll see. Supposed pricing also leaked that would put Navi at basically same price to performance. Also, there's an estimation of how these should perform. That would be kind of the same as what NVIDIA is currently offering, like $500 for the RX 3080. It's the current naming that people think is what they'll go with, and I think is what was said. But it said they would launch 2 GPUs initially, the 3070 and 3080, or Navi GT and Navi GX. Was that the other? I don't remember clearly. But that the higher one would be roughly equivalent to or better than the RTX 2070, but at like the MSRP, which those you can find them a bit under MSRP, so that seems unfortunate, is how some people would put it. I mean, everybody wants AMD or NVIDIA to always put something out that's super powerful and super cheap. Hard to say if that's what's going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But one thing, talking about the CPUs, and I will just like wrap up what I'm saying and then stop it, because like I said, I got started on this too late, because I have something coming up in like 10 minutes. So it has appeared, and I don't think I talked about this before, that Threadripper has disappeared from roadmaps, from CPU roadmaps, which one thing I do feel like is worth pointing out is that it is technically Ryzen Threadripper, so whenever they're talking about a Ryzen update, technically that can include Threadripper. But it's also someone speculating that it might be because, allegedly, but basically everyone that's been leaked stuff saying, yes, there is a 16-core Ryzen 3000 series coming. That would be AM4. So basically a 16-core 32-thread part that could install in current AM4 motherboards potentially. I paid $1,000 for my 1950X. This will also, that's how much that was at the time. This, people are expecting to be significantly cheaper than that, but you know, it's like I've been very happy with my 1950X. I hope that there is a 16-core AM4 processor released, so that more people can enjoy 16 cores, 32 threads. It is amazing to be able to have one machine that you can play the game on, you can capture the game on, and like capture multiple, and just have multiple encoding streams going at the same time. It is amazing. I love it. I want other people to be able to experience that. And honestly, Threadripper not being there does disappoint me. I want Threadripper to continue. I want to be able to upgrade and put something even better in. But I will say this, I can understand their desire to drop it. I can also understand something else which I think is more likely. It's either been postponed, or because previously Threadripper was launched about 6 months after the AM4 products of the same generation. 6 months from now is technically 2020, so, and these were 2019 roadmaps, so it could just be that Threadripper 3000 could be like the CES announcement, so January next week. Also, I could believe it that because Threadripper and Epic are so physically similar, if there's just been enough interest in Epic, the server and data center parts, CPUs, I could believe it if there's just enough interest there that they're saying, okay, you know what, we're not going to do Threadripper, so that we can dedicate all the resources that would have to be split between Epic and Threadripper just to Epic. Epic is where they're going to make money, right? Like the billions of dollars kind of money stuff. Because that's how big data center and server stuff is. Oh, I almost got the version here, 0.1.62010. So it's like, I'd be perfectly comfortable with that, and I'm very comfortable with my 1950X. I want to be able to upgrade it, but I'm not going to say it has to be soon. I can't afford it right now. Well, I could, I just shouldn't. But yeah, I mean, and it could also be that they just want to retreat some to see how certain things pan out. Because if they do have a 16-core AM4 part, I mean, then you wouldn't want a 16-core Threadripper part. That wouldn't make so much sense, except for the PCIe lanes and quad-channel memory, which, hey, that's lovely, but... Oh, that also reminds me, I haven't seen anyone talk about the potential, because the Ryzen 3000 should have PCIe 4. I've seen no one talk about motherboards potentially with muxers that'll transition PCIe 4 down to PCIe 3, because it doubles. So you could have it be where internally the Zeppelin dies have been, and presumably whatever the new dies will be for Ryzen 3000, will still have like 32 PCIe lanes in total. Some are reserved and you only get like 28 out of the AM4 products. But if that's all PCIe 4, in theory, you could double that to PCIe 3. Because 8x PCIe 4 is the same as 16x PCIe 3 as far as total bandwidth. And that was the same was also true for 3 and 2, PCIe 3 and PCIe 2. So it would be interesting if somebody did that, because nothing uses PCIe 4 yet. So you could potentially have 56 total PCIe 3 lanes by doing that. So you could have an AM4 board that would give you dual by 16 for graphics cards, which could be very interesting. I can definitely believe that no one will do that, but it still is. I mean, even if you had like the top slot is PCIe 4, and then maybe the next physically by 16 slot, even though it may not be electrically, still is by 4, maybe by 8. But you could add in more like NVMe slot, M.2 slots and such by muxing it down to PCIe 3. You could do that as a motherboard manufacturer. I'm pretty sure you could. But yeah, I mean, Threadripper may also just go to extreme high core count. Like, oh, you want 24 cores? All right, well that's this. Or 32 cores? That's this. 64 cores? That's this. It still has a place, I feel, but it's also one where fewer and fewer people will exist in. Which is not a bad thing. It's just, there are also still some people that would love to have it. I mean, let me put it like this. If you had, I mean, you could technically do this with a 32-core, 64-thread Epic. You wouldn't necessarily want to do it with the 2990WX because of the 2 dies not having direct memory access. But in theory, you could set up a system that you could have like 3 different machines running. Either one host and 2 virtual machines, or maybe like 1 mega host and all 3 virtual machines, whatever. Where one is 16 core 32 threads, which would be my system, what I currently have. And then the other 2 be 8 core 16 thread clients of sorts. Like, just, you could then have like 2 people playing a game on the 8 core 16 thread virtual machines, while the 16 core 32 thread records it all on the CPU. You could do that. I would love to see that happen, and with Threadripper not limited to Epic. But we'll just have to see what happens. I am hopeful that it is just we're focusing on Epic, or you know what, we want to see how things go. Maybe there's enough interest in a new Threadripper, or just we're holding back. That's just 6 months from now, like usual. That's in 2020, so you gotta wait. It's I'm good with that. Let's just see what happens. All right. Yeah, so I need to be stopping because I've got a fair amount of work to do. The thing that I need to get to pretty soon. I also have finally gotten around to starting to collect more data for Shadow of the Tomb Raider to do a performance analysis, and I've mentioned that I've wanted to do that for a while, so I don't mind saying it. Just enough other stuff has been delaying me, but I'm trying to collect the data with the DXR stuff, the accelerated ray tracing, which in that it's only shadows. I've collected so far for 1 GPU, the 1070. I'll do the 1080 next. And then I will do the 2060, the RTX 2060. And my plan is, hopefully I will remember to do this. I may screw up and forget though. To capture some of that, so we can see what the differences are visually between off, medium, high, and ultra. I will say on the 1070, I could see a difference with high and medium. I did not touch ultra because you wouldn't even want to touch high for how it hits performance on the 1070. The 2060, I don't know yet, but I suspect that it'll handle fine, at least high. But medium, I couldn't see the difference between the normal shadows. The performance apparently took a hit, but I couldn't see visual difference. But from medium to high, I could see a difference there. Is it worth it? I'm not sure yet. I'm going to do more of that analysis when I got the 2060 in there. And also, as I recall, they added DLSS as well at the same time as the ray tracing. And this is important for why I need to do it with the 2060, because the 2060 should actually allow me to use that at 1920 by 1080. Metro Exodus, I forgot that fact. That's an NVIDIA controlled thing, not a game controlled thing. And I tried to capture with the 2080, doesn't allow DLSS, so we'll see. I've to date still been not too impressed by DLSS. Maybe this will change my mind. I will probably tomorrow find out. And yeah, so I'll capture a video on that, trying to show the differences if I can. And hopefully have all the data and be able to write something up sometime next week. Hard to say, because I also do have other projects, other work I need to do. Alright. Yeah. 44 minutes, 15 of those was me just talking at the end, but I didn't expect to be talking that long, to be honest. And even then, what does it matter? I don't think anybody watches these anyhow. But, yeah, next week, though... Sorry about that, had to cough. Had to cough there. Next week, though, should be interesting with Computex going on there. And also, Lisa Su, Dr. Lisa Su, President and CEO of AMD, will have a keynote at Computex talking about stuff which should be interesting. Yeah, it should be very interesting to see what comes out of Computex. Hopefully good stuff. Well, it should be good stuff. It's just hopefully it'll be good stuff that we can get our hands on soon. Like, I would love to know if I'd be able to upgrade, like, put in something to replace the 2700X. There we go. Finally figured out the Ryzen 7 2700X I have in the test system. Because that's part of the reason why I wanted the AM4 platform, not just to save money, but also so that I could put in other CPUs. I don't have any other CPUs yet, but it would be interesting to be able to do that. Depends on what the mortar, the B450M mortar from MSI, is able to handle. Because being a B450 board and an M-ATX board, it might not be able to handle a 16-core processor if I had one to put in there, but it might be able to handle others. We'll see. Well, someone who will see. Just maybe not me. Just maybe not me. Wow, my tongue is just killing itself. Alright, I should really stop and do other things and let you escape from my voice if you are in fact listening and to have continued to listen. Like I said, I don't think anybody actually watches these. Alright, see you next time. Yeah, I'm not thinking of anything coming up that may prevent me. So, yeah, see you then.